Hello, everyone, again. So here we are, looking for part 5 of The Bucket. There it is by J Cattrell. And I don't know if I showed you this, I probably did, but there's a Chinese dragon on the back and a miner tool. Don't know where they come into the story, we'll find that out. Now, the powers that be, i.e. my 11 and 14-year-old daughter, tell me that I must tell you a bit about myself. So I'm going to try and do that quite quickly before we get to the story. So I started work life off as a psychiatric nurse. I did that for 15 years. Then I looked after my mother, bless her, MS, and was not well and got bedridden and all of that for about 8 years. During that time, I did a BA in performing arts. I met some amazing people. I've met amazing people throughout my life. It's just everybody. I met some, well, dingbats, I'm sure we all have, haven't we? But I met some good people too. And then I started my own company up. I met my present wife around about present wife? It's not going to have another one. I'm not really. I know, I'm done. We're fine. We're happy. So I met my wife around 2020, just about the same year as my mother died, sadly. And then I ran a theatre company with a couple of friends, Pauline Midwinter and Daryl Tester, with a great deal of help from Dorian Kelly and lots of other amazing actors and actresses. And we did all sorts of crazy stuff. Lots of Shakespeare plays around Essex and East Anglia, and taking them up to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. And so I used to write a lot of plays and do sort of silly stuff just for fun. So yeah, we've done some crazy stuff over the years. Then the children came along, and I'd started a company by then that made biodiesel out of old used cooking oil, but that proved to be not so profitable as actually just buying in cooking oil and selling the waste oil to guys to make biodiesel with. So that's what I do now. Or I would do if we hadn't had this virus going around the place. Hope you're all well. Clearly you are, because you're watching this. And so now my focus is on finishing off that little bit of business until we can all restart again. And I've just got a job with a hospice doing palliative care. So going back to nursing and looking after people and helping them through the last stages of their lives. So that's a bit heavy, it's a bit tricky, but it's a good thing to do. So I'm kind of good with that. So there we go. I have a wonderful wife, 2 amazing children. I'll just take the camera off the wall here for a sec, because here they are. So there's a couple of photos there of Sarah and Rachel, my 2 amazing daughters. Oh, there's some brilliant artwork by Keith Feng up there. That there is my horse. I had a horse for 20 years. Her name was Sally, and I loved her to bits. She was utterly amazing. But we lost her a couple of years ago, sadly. Here's the 2 girls, if I can stretch the camera a bit, looking a little less academic and a bit more trendy. That's looking good. So there we go. There we go. Oh, there's a picture of the bucket. Some writers people sent me this particular, I'll get it in camera, here we go, thing, which I love. Novelist at work, bystanders may be written into the story. Talking of which, I am just embarking upon a more slightly adult version of the stories that I write, and doing adaptations from Grimm's fairy tales. Okay, so I'm going to be making those a bit more adult and mainly for kind of 14 to 78-year-olds. Anybody after that needs permission to read them, clearly. So, okay, so that's about me. If you want to know any more about me, you can go on Facebook and look up DJ Cattrell. I've got a website, www.djcattrell.author.com. Whoops. And I do school visits, and we have a lot of fun. One of the things that I love about school visits, you get addicted to. If you're a children's author and you like me, you like to entertain a little bit, one of the most amazing things is to hear 30, 40 children all giggling at the same time. It's just gold, I can tell you. It's nothing better. So I love going into schools, and I do a full day reading to reception through to year 1, 2 maybe, and then we do workshop stuff with years 3, then years 4, then 5 and 6, and each school we go to is just brilliant. I say we because my wife Debbie comes with me quite often, and we do a lot of mucking around, showing kids that you don't have to be good at actually writing to write good stories. You need to be good at making stories up. It's a different thing. And I'll say this just the once, is that really good grammar and being brilliant at writing, that's good for jobs and working and communication skills and etc. etc. If you want to make up stories, you don't need to be able to write. You need to be able to make up events. Stories are about events and conflicts and resolutions and all that stuff. And we've got editors and proofreaders to help correct the things that we get wrong. My grammar's awful, I can tell you. But I have some brilliant friends who are great apostrophe bullies. No, did I say that out loud? Oh, no. Editors. And so, yeah, if anybody's interested in any tips of writing, I'm always happy to share. Always happy to share for nothing, because, you know, I'm not going to be doing master classes. I rewrote King Lear once, gave it a happy ending, Shakespeare, and we took that up to Edinburgh for a month. It was brilliant. 16 actors, all doing this play that, you know, was written in proper normal English, you know, prose we call it, rather than Shakespeare in language, which is very difficult and tricky to get into. And we had a blast. We had lots of people loving that kind of thing. So from that, funnily enough, I developed, you know, quite a few skills in writing, or learned quite a bit, because Shakespeare is absolutely, you know, when you get into it, absolutely amazing in the depth and understanding of writing skills. And when you bring that up to the modern day stuff, then you understand plot, character development, and a whole bunch of other things. So, you know, if you're a budding writer, one thing I would say is take any Shakespeare play, get an Arden edition, look at the stuff underneath, and just rewrite it in normal English, you know, because it's brilliant. You don't have to get like a play out of the whole thing, but if you start doing that, it's a brilliant writing exercise. Okay, so for all of you who are here for the proper stuff, it's reading the bucket, and we're up to chapter 6. So on with the glasses, and I'll stop wittering on about myself. I hope that's enough. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave comments, chat, do whatever you want. You can contact me through the website or through email. Yeah, so, yeah, or Facebook. I'm on Facebook as well, somewhere. I'm not quite always sure where. Here we go. So, if you get ready, got a cuppa and some hot chocolate maybe, snacks, who can tell? We're all locked in, for crying out loud. It's not a sin. Feel free. Here we go. So we know, where were we? Okay. So, oh gosh, yes. So Robin and Rachel are going through the meadow, and Robin has just had his foot saved from a rockin' enemy by Rachel, who's getting a bit annoyed with him, really. And they're off to find her sister and his father. So let's see how that goes. It wasn't long before Rachel's fears about the meadow were confirmed. From where they had stood with Brian, it had looked flat. But when you started walking through it, the landscape seemed to change. They seemed to be walking downhill. Robin had moaned about being hungry the whole way, and Rachel was beginning to think she should have left him stuck in the anemone rock thing. Her thoughts were broken by Robin's sudden explanation of bananas. She looked ahead, and standing not far away was a single banana plant, heavily laden with green bananas. Robin nearly leapt for joy. "Come on, I'll race you! The green ones are the best!" And with that, he ran down the hill towards the tree. Rachel took her time and continued walking at the same pace as she had been. One plant? Why is there just one plant? She thought to herself. Either someone has planted it there or... Oh, Robin, wait! But Robin was already climbing up. She ran to catch up, but as she reached the large plant, Robin was just pulling at a big green banana. "The green ones are the best, my mum says." And with that, he plucked the banana from the tree, or plant. Rachel heard a loud "ouch" in her mind. "You little monster," said the tree out loud. "What did you do that for?" Robin looked down at Rachel. "Did you say something? Do you want one?" "Poor little Rachel," he said in a mocking voice. "Too small to climb a tree, are you? Shall I get you one?" With that, he leant forward and plucked another banana. "Rat, you little monster! Enough is enough!" With that, the tree bent itself backwards as if it was being pulled by a rope and then sprang forwards. Unfortunately for Robin, he didn't see that coming, and he pinged through the air, making a long scream and landing with an oomph in a muddy pond. Much to the annoyance of the pond's inhabitants, one particularly affected mudskipper flapped around shouting, "The sky has fallen in! Save yourselves!" Robin heard this and looked curiously at the mudskipper. "I am not the sky, and my bottom really hurts. Why are you talking?" The mudskipper looked at him with as much alarm as a mudskipper can muster, not being too good on facial expressions, and flapped off shouting, "The gods have sent a giant to eat us all! Flap, flap your lives!" Several of the mudskippers emerged from the pond and started to flap away, screaming, "The end of the world has come! Save us!" Robin ignored them and stood up. Everything in this place was weird, but at least these things hadn't tried to hurt him. Rachel looked at the banana tree. "Sorry about him. He does rather seem to leap before he looks quite a lot." She looked down at the bottom of the tree and noticed that it wasn't actually in the ground. It had feet. This fact was obvious because the plant was wearing shoes. Lots of shoes. "They look a bit homemade. May I ask if you have a name?" The plant smiled in her head, but spoke out aloud. "Well, I must say you are a lot more polite than your friend there." Rachel found this unsurprising. "Thank you. My name is Rachel." The plant vibrated slightly. "And my name is, She paused for a moment. I think I may have forgotten. I forget a lot of things these days. What do you think I should be called?" Rachel thought for a moment, looked over at Robin, who was trying to brush off mud off his trousers, slime off his legs, water from his hair. "I'm not sure. How about Fling?" The tree thought for a moment, then laughed. Yes, I rather like that. Fling. Makes me sound quite fast." Rachel noticed that Fling sounded a bit Welsh. Robin walked over to Fling. "Did you have to do that to me?" he said, rubbing his behind. "Yes," said Fling. "And if you try pulling anything else off me, I'll do a lot worse." Robin sulked. "Charming. Sorry, didn't know you were alive, sort of thing." He bent down and picked up a banana. "Is it okay if I eat this now?" Fling thought and then laughed. "Yes, I suppose so. You can hardly stick it back on me now, can you? Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a long way to go." With that, he raised one root with a shoe on, very slowly, and put it down again a few inches from where it had been. It seemed to take a while. Robin and Rachel watched as Fling very slowly lifted another root and very slowly put that one down a few more inches in front of him. Robin munched on the banana. "In a rush, are you?" Rachel punched Robin in the arm. "Don't be so rude," Fling coughed. "We walk a little more slowly than you, but we always get to where we're going." It's a dreadful Welsh accent, isn't it? But we're giving it a go. Okay. Rachel asked where he was going. "To the woods. Over there. I'm not exactly a tree myself, but they always make me feel welcome. I am looking forward to taking off these shoes and sinking my roots into the cool earth." He lifted another root off the ground, very slowly put it forward. Rachel thought for a moment. "May I ask where you got those shoes from?" Fling lifted another root slowly and purposefully up. "You are an observant child, aren't you? Rachel the Intrepid." Rachel blushed for a bit, and then it hit her. How did you know my name? How do you know that I'm called Rachel the Intrepid? I only told you my name was Rachel." Flint laughed slowly again. Hey, everything Flint did was slow except talk and, well, fling. "Your sister told me about you a year ago that you were coming here. As for my shoes, Mr. McCracker was kind enough to make them for me. My roots are becoming a little frayed, you know." The boy flung the now empty banana skin over his shoulder. "You know where they are, then? Her sister and my dad," he said hopefully. "Well, if you look behind me, young McCracker, you might see smoke coming from their cooking stoves." Robin and Rachel looked over from the other side of the meadow. It was the same wisp of smoke they were headed for. "That's where the others like you live. Well, some of them at least." Robin was curious. "How long has it taken you to get across these meadows?" Fling put down another root and grunted. "Oh, about a year." Robin thought about this for a while. Then the penny dropped. He turned to Rachel. "How did they know a year ago that we were coming here?" Rachel felt a bit mixed up. She felt happy at the prospect of seeing her new sister, but also sort of a new calculation was forming in her mind. There was something to do with time. "Your father disappeared 8 years ago, didn't he?" Robin answered with a mouthful of banana. "Yep. Mum kept telling me that he would come back one day, but, you know." Rachel put her fingers to her lips and then walked slowly around Fling while she thought. "I think that your father and my sister must have come here at the same time, probably together, like you and I did," she said, and continued to walk around Fling and Robin slowly. She ran her fingers through her hair and curled some of her hair into her ear and twiddled it as she walked and walked. She did this whenever she was concentrating on something, the hair twiddling thing, that is, on something important, or when she was tired and thought no one was watching. Eventually, she said to Robin, who had absent-mindedly taken to watching Fling move another couple of inches, "I think we've been coming here for a very long time. I think our parents knew, or at least suspected, that we would come here." Robin stopped watching Fling. "Really? I know your parents are clever, but much as I love my mum, she doesn't entirely seem switched on all the time, if you know what I mean." Rachel was piecing bits of the puzzle together. "Who else allows their child to spend most of her time in the garden shed? And why would your mum tell me to bring an apple for the unicorn? I think they must have been here themselves one time." Suddenly she heard a splat noise. She looked at Robin, who was wiping something off his sleeve and looking confused. Then another splat. Robin yelped as a brown sticky mush hit him in the ear. "What the hell?" Another missile caught him on the back of his neck, and then something on his leg, and something was firing mushy pellets at him. Rachel looked around to see what it could be, but there was just meadow. Then another pellet hit him, and Rachel spotted something moving fast through the grass. They heard sniggering. Oh, it was the same sort of sniggering that Rachel had heard in her lounge when there was nothing there. Then something ran through the grass again, firing another pellet that caught Robin in the centre of his forehead. Ow! Stop it! He said to the grass in general. Whatever had been firing pellets at him rushed through the grass and disappeared. What the hell was that all about? Rachel looked around again. No idea. But whatever it is seems to have gone. Now, quiet for a while. I need to think. And Fling again, who was still mid-step. Of course, she began to talk mainly to herself. That's why they've been dropping hints about this place. It all makes sense, I think. Then, while slowly musing on this conundrum, Rachel noticed the sky was slightly darker. The suns were going down. How can that be? It should be mid-afternoon, she thought. Rachel turned to Fling. How long have we been talking with you, Fling? Let me see now. In your time, about 3, maybe 4 hours. Time moves slowly for me, you see. More than most. They used to call me old man. Old man? Oh, no, I can't remember. I forget what it was now. Rachel suddenly realized what had happened. The last Chinese emperor had warned her about this, warned her about banana plants a long time ago, and she'd forgotten. We've been slowed down. We've lost time. Fling, can you tell us how to get over there to where that smoke is coming from? Fling lifted another root. Well, I came a short way, for me, over the top of the meadow, you see. The creek was a bit of a problem, but I had some help there. Maybe you and Robin could take a shortcut through the meadow, caves, tunnels, once you are past the creek, that is. They're not far in front of you and behind me. Rachel hugged Fling. Thank you. Robin had started staring hypnotically at Fling's very slow-moving roots again. We've got to find my sister and your father as quickly as possible. Robin was unimpressed. Duh, well, isn't that what Brian said? Rachel was beginning to enjoy punching Robin in the arm. He said it 3 hours ago. We've been trapped in a time thing. We've got to find them. I mean now. We've got to go. It might not seem like it, but we've been here for hours. Don't you have a watch or a mobile or something? Robin looked at his wrist. And, well, I did have a watch when we came here. It's gone. She turned to Fling. Thank you, Fling. I hope we see each other again one day. Maybe when you have a lot more time. Fling vibrated again. His bananas rustled and 2 fell off him. I also too, Rachel the Intrepid. These will keep you from being hungry for a while. Good luck on your journey, though. Fling then promptly dropped his root and fell asleep, and then snored. Rachel grabbed Robin by the arm. Come on, monkey boy, we've got to go. Robin grasped at the bananas as he was being dragged along. Don't forget the food. I think that's where we'll leave it tonight. Okay, so we're up to chapter 7. Hey, chapter 7. Woohoo! I hope you're enjoying it. And I'll try and do another couple of chapters as soon as I can. But I'm also, there you are. I'm also doing cookery things. So if you're interested in making bread or just checking out different recipes and things, I love cooking. I love playing guitar and writing books, reading books, and generally having fun. So I hope you're having fun. What I'm going to do now is say, catch you later. This is where we do end stream. It never looks good, this bit on it. I've noticed that. It never looks good. So we're going to do this. End stream. I'm going to end stream, and then we go end